Stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Band shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The wish I never made it that the champion boy pano. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
It's the Jerusalem Stadium. Motorists are heading in one direction for Red Stripe Football Mondays. Cavalier, their fans are here. The Waterhouse fans are here. It's a big night of Red Stripe football in Jamaica. It's National Heroes Day in Jamaica, and the Waterhouse fans are hoping that their team will make some heroes out of them tonight. Cavalier, the visiting team, traveling here twice last year and avoiding defeat. In fact, on one occasion, defeating Waterhouse by 2-0 with goals from Laston Reed and Nicholas Hamilton. And they would want, George, to repeat that victory over the home team again tonight.
Yeah, that was on a wet Monday night. No rain here tonight, but the Cavalier fans and the players are certainly expectant. Waterhouse, though, in relatively good form and coming to this game confident, Lance, that they have a unit that can hurt the Cavalier team.
Yes, it's the climax of match day 5. Sunday's results, some interesting results, including Harbourview finally getting off the mark, 1-0 over Dunbeholden. Humberland still without a victory from 5 matches, held 1-1 at Montego Bay. Portmore United moving to the top of the table as the defending champions with a 2-0 win at Reno. Tivoli Gardens, second loss in a row. Mount Pleasant Academy, hot to trot, 1-0 over Tivoli Gardens at Tivoli. And UWI, George, 3-0 over Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, that's a team that Arnett Gardens has the most trouble with, UWI, meaning that the table has 3 teams out front on 10 points, Portmore, UWI, and Mount Pleasant in that order. At the bottom, Reno, Dunbeholden continue their struggles. Humberland, 3 points, a solitary 3 points, no wins. The only team in the league, Lance, not to register a win yet. Humberland stuck in 10th at the moment.
Yeah, real problems for them. Looking at the points table, Waterhouse and Cavalier 7th and 8th at the moment. A victory for Waterhouse tonight will take them to the top of the table. If they win by 1-0, they'll be joint leaders with Portmore. If they win by a bigger margin, they'll be sole leaders. Of course, 3 teams at the moment at the top of the table with 10 points. Waterhouse at home, they've always, well, for the most part, have strong offensive players, and they'll be looking to them
when
to
you
get
have
some goals tonight.
when you have a header of the ball as good as Gervin Brown is, as Waterhouse do, playing at centre forward, it would suit you to have your wingers go down the byline and try to find him with those crosses. So that's a part of the tactic you would expect Waterhouse to use. You would expect also for them to seek to bully Cavalier from set piece opportunities, because they have the taller team on average, Waterhouse, man for man. And of course, it's Heroes Day. There is a good sized crowd here. You'd expect them to draw energy from the crowd, although the Waterhouse crowd, like many crowds in Jamaica, if the players don't give them anything, they don't give the players anything. We're not of the football culture here in the Caribbean where fans cheer just because they know the team needs encouragement. The team has to give you something to cheer for, and Waterhouse fans are experts at that kind of relationship with their players.
That's right, and Waterhouse would be looking for some of their key players like Gervin Brown and Kenroy Howell, who are really and truly replacements, have to be for Cardell Benbow and Kimar Beckford. They lost last year. Cavalier coming here with a lot of confidence. They have positioned themselves well so far this season. They play with speed, they play with youth, energy, and a lot of creativity.
Yeah, they're very direct, Cavalier, very nippy on the ball, and their entire front line comfortable with the ball, getting it in tight spaces, getting the ball in close quarters with opponents hounding down their necks. They have to utilize that advantage, Lance, that dribbling ability that they have in the attacking quarter of the field. Cavalier must do. And look, they have to come here on the road and show that this place is not daunting for them. Waterhouse and venues like these are nowhere where they'll go and feel afraid that they're men at this level, because they showed us last season that they can mix it with the experienced teams at this level.
That's for sure, and one of the things they showed last year as well is that they were very comfortable on the road, traveling well and doing reasonably well. One of their key players, the 20-year-old Alex Marshall, a 2015 and 2014 schoolboy football star with St. George's College. He's our My 90.
Alex Marshall of Cavalier Soccer Club, My 90, stand up for your stripe. Football helped me to become a better person. So I think football isn't just a sport to me. Football is basically my role model, I guess, or something that can help me to move on to bigger places. I've been playing football for 10 years now. My grandfather told me to go to training one morning, and from that day, I've never left it. Football help a lot of youngsters in my community to move on to colleges overseas and get opportunities to go to other schools in Jamaica. I went to St. George's College and the school motto is Ad Majorem Gregoriam, for the greater glory of God. I watch a lot of series on TV. I think I'm that player that when the team is under pressure, specific players under pressure, he can give me the ball and I'll help my teammates. I'm that kind of player. I'm creative. I wanted to become a soldier if it was in football.
That's Alex Marshall, 20 years old and looking to have a bright future in the game of football. Did have a trial with the German second division club St. Pauli a couple of seasons ago. But George, we understand there have been some interest in him. News coming out today as well.
Yeah, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa, the clubs who are reportedly interested in Alex Marshall, looking to add goals to their respective sides. Instructive to note, 2 London teams and 1 Birmingham team. Those are the 3 teams trying to get Alex Marshall, if we are to believe what's coming from the reporter.
Yeah, so this is the home of champions, Sports Match 2, covering lots of sport right across the globe. And next week, Red Stripe Football Mondays will come from the compound, Harbourview. They'll be at home to Mount Pleasant Academy, and that game will be in tribute as well to Luton Shelton, the all-time leading scorer for Jamaica in international football. A Harbourview standout suffering from the terminal illness, ALS, and the heart of all football fans and the country going out to Luton Shelton at this time.
Yes, indeed. Manchester United play Juventus in the UEFA Champions League live Tuesday, October 23, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. ECT. And then Paris Saint-Germain at home, Napoli the visitors, Wednesday, October 24, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. ECT. Action also on Sportsmax.
So we're within 15 minutes of the kickoff here at the Jerusalem Stadium. Waterhouse getting ready to battle Cavalier in Red Stripe Football Mondays. It's the climax of match day 5. Waterhouse looking for a victory tonight that will take them to the top of the table. Back in a moment with a kickoff.
Nah, man, I don't a songsters, boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion, boy.
So it's a night of Red Stripe Football Mondays, the climax of match day 5. We continue the build-up here. Not very cool, not hot either, and not much chance of rain. Pretty humid night, 74 degrees at 74% humidity at the moment, and the field at the moment looking in reasonably good condition. The fans on Red Stripe Football Mondays night eager to see a quality game of football, George, which they have become accustomed to when Cavalier and Waterhouse clash in the history of this tournament.
Yeah, it's a clash for the purists. You expect the ball to spend most of the game on the floor, and you expect to see skillful, fast interplay between and among the players.
Yeah, Waterhouse, 1968, they're celebrating an anniversary of sorts this year, and 4th in the regular season last year, went on to the final, being on penalties, unfortunately for them, by Portmore in the final. And they haven't won a title since 2006, but they went pretty close last year.
Yes, indeed. Among their top players, the goalkeeper, Diego Horton, that's him. One of the best 3 goalkeepers in the country, for sure. Well, at least in the RSPL, for sure. He has been a trusty servant for Waterhouse, helped them tremendously last season. There were some games that we saw towards the back end of the regular season where Diego Horton was the difference between Waterhouse winning and losing, and he continues between the sticks, hoping to carry his good form over into this new season.
Gervin Brown, former standout striker for UWI, first season with Waterhouse, tremendously successful striker this, spent some time in El Salvador as well, back home now to the Premier League, and he is going to be one of the key players for Waterhouse tonight. Did score in their opening game when they beat Dunbeholden by 1-0. And let's hear now from the Waterhouse camp as they get ready for this important fixture.
Aquino, you come into this game in good form against the Cavalier team. What's the plan for tonight's game?
Well, we're playing at home, so Our plan is remain the same. We're looking for a positive result because we're at home.
In terms of the goal scoring this season, many people would have thought, given what you lost over the summer, that you would be short. But how satisfied are you with what your front players have been able to do?
No, yes, we have missed 2 good players, but we have some good players that came in as well. So where the fire and power is right now, we have quality players who could get the job done.
Cavalier, a ball-playing team. They like to put it on the turf, like to knock it around. What plan do you have to counter how the Cavalier team are comfortable playing?
Well, we just have to stop where they're most comfortable and just close down the spaces and don't allow them to play. So that is our game plan. And when we have the ball, make use of it.
In terms of the overall goal for the season, well, forget the season, the first round, the 33-game preliminary round, it's a very, very long road. What at the end of this campaign will be satisfying from the Waterhouse management perspective?
Well, we're aiming to get at least 21, 18 points. Anything over that is great.
So, Waterhouse looking for a victory here tonight. Cavalier, an older club than Waterhouse is, and they've gone a longer period of a drought with their last title coming all the way back in 1981. Their only title, in fact. Last year they were 6th in the regular season. Did well in the first part of the playoffs to get rid of Tivoli, but were beaten by the Portmore team in the semi-finals in the end. And Siobhan Marsh, a key player there for them tonight. He's their captain. Yeah, he is the thrust in the midfield, likes to dribble. Very direct, Siobhan Messi Marsh. Has a goal or 2 in him, although I think that's the weakest part of his game. His finishing, his approach play can't be faulted. He is tough, he is strong, not afraid to take on the big, strong defenders. And he is a Cavalier's beating heart from an attacking perspective. Plays well in tandem with this man, Alex Marshall, who was our My 90 feature. Only 20 years old, was one of the leading scorers for Cavalier last year, got 7 goals I think last season, and is coming in here now. Has, based on his performance last year, forced himself into the national setup as well, and this is a young player with a pretty bright future ahead of him. Alex Marshall, part of a strong attack. Eferdine Scarlett is the assistant coach for the Cavalier team ahead of this game.
Eferdine, what's the plan tonight against the Waterhouse team that is usually strong at home?
We just have to come here tonight, play some good football, and hope we get the 3 points.
Your team, of course, it's in their DNA. They play the ball. They don't go for the long balls. They don't try to reach the front man too quickly. Like to keep it on the floor. Are we likely to see any adaptation of that style tonight?
Yeah, man, you should see a good, patient game from us tonight. You know, our style never change. It's our butter at Cavalier.
In terms of the mood in the overall camp, given the start you've had to the season, a bit of an up and down, not really a run of consistency so far, even though the season is still young. Are you satisfied with what the team has done so far?
Yes, we are satisfied thus far, even though we have 2 losses in 2 previous games. But the guys are pretty upbeat tonight, and they are coming to play some good football tonight.
After what we could call a near miss with the playoffs and the semi-finals last season, are the boys disappointed by that and using it as motivation to go all the way this campaign?
Yes, they were pretty much disappointed of the second leg result, but nonetheless they are true champions. So they, you know, come this season we should have a better, bigger thing going forward from Cavalier.
And finally, we spoke a lot, commentators did, about the youth within the team last season. Have you seen in training and in match play the maturity in some of those boys who were young last year, a year older, but even beyond a year, the experience that they would have gained from playing in the Premier League? Have you seen that in some of the youngsters this season?
Yes, they pretty much garnered some experience from last year, and I must tell you that our average age this year is 21. You know, and they are adapting up pretty well.
Eferdine Scarlett, the fans are ready. We're getting close to the kickoff, minutes away. Back in a moment. Cavalier away to Waterhouse in Red Stripe Football Mondays.
Say 1 bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem. Red Stripe, watch out. Man shall I made a forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal win a run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run him marathon boy. The Red Stripe Premier League champion boy, yeah yo.
We're moments away from the kickoff. The teams are about to take the field here at the Druseland Stadium. Waterhouse at home to Cavalier. They're currently mid-table, these two teams, but a victory for Waterhouse tonight will take them to the top of the table. They met 3 times last season. There were no victories for Waterhouse last season, 2 drawn results and 1 Cavalier victory in the 3 meetings they had last year. And both teams doing very well going on to the playoffs. Waterhouse in the end beaten finalists on penalties by Portmore. Cavalier, their road ended in the semi-finals to the red-hot Portmore team. So the teams are about to take the field. And Waterhouse, no Premier League titles for them in the past 12 years. Coming into this season with the loss of some of their key players, including Cardell Benbow and Kimar Bushy-Beckford, their leading scorers last year, having gone on the transfer to Mount Pleasant Academy, but they have acquired some pretty strong players, including Gervin Brown, and Kenroy Howell has returned to the Waterhouse setup for the first time in 2 or 3 years to boost their team. And this is a pretty solid Waterhouse setup at the moment. 2 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss so far this season for them, and they've made a pretty decent start to this championship.
Yeah, I want to tell you, Lance, that and tell the viewers, not you necessarily, Cavalier are one of 2 teams in this Red Stripe Premier League, I would say, who have a DNA. They have a set way of playing. They play possession football. They keep the ball on the turf. The players that they have in the squad, the young, nippy, skillful dribblers, it is to play that kind of game. The other team that you could say has an imprint in terms of how they play is Arnett Gardens. The other teams, Lance, it goes and it fluctuates because they change managers so regularly. You see Bruce Picknell of Tankwell fame, an executive at Waterhouse, greeting the players. So Cavalier and their DNA coming here, trying to get 3 points from a Waterhouse team that are on the rebound after that near miss last year. You spoke of them losing the final, and they've lost their coaches, well, lost some of their best players. They're here to show that they can rebound and they can do well again.
Yeah, that's for sure. They had a tremendous last 2/3 of the season last year. Waterhouse, after having a bad start. Here's the Jamaican national anthem. The Waterhouse fans know that in the past year, Cavalier had been a bit of a nemesis as far as they're concerned in their bid to get results and getting 3 points. And Cavalier will also know that on their best day, they have, based on what we saw last year, nothing really to fear from this Waterhouse team, and I would think they would carry this into that mental approach into this game tonight.
Yeah, you'd expect a fast start from the visitors, Lance, and Waterhouse will be tackling hard, trying to disrupt, because when you play against skillful players who are comfortable on the ball, you want as a defender to leave your calling card. You want to put in a few meaty tackles, probably get away with, well, not probably, get away with as much as you can from the referee who may want to say, well, you know what, it's early, I'll allow the rough tackles, but cut them down. You want to make that signature tackle early on if you're the Waterhouse midfielders on the likes of Messi Marsh and Alex Marshall, to let them know that you're not going to be in for the run around tonight.
Yeah, the 2 captains, Keith Simpson from Waterhouse and Siobhan Marsh from Cavalier, meeting the officials. Cardella Samuels is the referee with a whistle tonight. She's a FIFA referee. She has Josette Carr and Kimar Barker with her. Nerissa Golson, the 4th official. And the Waterhouse team now in their team photo. Keith Simpson running quickly across from the toss duties to join up with his team. The Waterhouse lineup tonight: Diego Houghton, their outstanding goalkeeper; Keith Simpson, captain Finlayson, the 32-year-old veteran; Duar, Binns, Roberts, Williams, Gervin Brown, Kenroy Howell, Rafiq Thomas, and Denardo Thomas. Pretty strong Waterhouse lineup this.
Yeah, change at left back. Damian Binns replaces Ricardo Thomas, the indefatigable left back for Waterhouse, who's off on international duty. But Keith Simpson is going to be a crucial player in that holding midfield role. Stephen Williams was our man of the match some matches ago for Waterhouse. He'll have to have a good game for them to win this afternoon, this evening.
Yeah, the Cavalier lineup, a couple of their key players coming off the bench, we would think, tonight, including Claudius Blackburn, who scored in their win against Reno. Jadine White is in goal for Cavalier tonight, the teenage goalkeeper from St. Andrew Technical. Jahmoi Topey, Simpson, Ming, Purcell, Rankin, who comes from Sandals FC on a debut last year in the Premier League. Nelson Hamilton, Paris, Marsh and Marshall.
Yeah, the formation up front will be Nicu Daly, the Clarendon College schoolboy, Hamilton, Marsh and Marshall. What a trio to have, providing the ammunition for Daly. He'll not be short of chances, one suspects tonight. Rankin and Nelson will have the important task of protecting that back four in the midfield for Cavalier.
Yeah, there were Cavalier players just in a quick discussion there pre-match. It's Irving, Kyle Ming, and there's Marshall, seemingly delivering a word of prayer just ahead of this important fixture. At 20 years old, Marshall, a player that excited fans 2 years ago in his final season in schoolboy football. There were many that thought he would have been beyond the Red Stripe Premier League at this point in his career.
Yeah, I certainly would have wagered that he would have been gone by now, but circumstances have not supported that move. I have yet to see him dominate a game at the Red Stripe Premier League level, though. I've seen him do that several times for St. George's College as a schoolboy, but he's just finding the transition a little bit difficult. I've seen him decorate games, not seen him dominate any.
Pretty robust stuff early here in midfield from both teams. Thomas tumbling over there from an early challenge. Finlayson goes long. Howell looking for the return play there, doesn't get it. Marsh's pass is poor. Allows Waterhouse to regain possession. Pretty quiet night this by Waterhouse standards, George.
Yeah, we've only heard the one heckler raise his voice once so far. That's a free kick.
So the strong challenge seemed there from Binns. Just stops the Cavalier man Marsh in his forward trek. And a free kick to Cavalier from a pretty advantageous position. And Marcel Gale, coach of Waterhouse for the first time, having left UWI, annoyed at that tackle, giving up a set play that Cavalier can be pretty strong at so early in the piece.
Yeah, the former Daintil schoolboy Kahim Paris has an accurate left foot. This is a very good chance. Well, this is a very good part of the field to have a free kick. Let me correct that.
Yeah. Paris with a strike just over the top.
Yeah. Over the wall, but not beneath the crossbar. Another one of those young players, Lance, who you perhaps didn't expect to still be here, given the quality he showed as a schoolboy. Kahim Paris scored a hatful of goals for Daintil Technical last year.
Yeah.
But guess what? He's still only young, so there's still hope for him.
Yeah, it was good enough also to catch the eyes of national coach Theodore Tapper Whitmore, brought into the national setup as well. Ming tumbles over for the second time in less than 3 minutes of the match. So some signs here that Waterhouse are going to let Cavalier know that they are the visiting team and will be handed things on a platter. Ming. Topey. That's a foul on Rafiq Thomas, who celebrated his 34th birthday yesterday. The veteran also spent some time at Boystown and Harbourview. There's speed. Rudolph, the gaffer at Cavalier.
Thought you were going to say the red-nosed reindeer. I was going to remark, Lance, that Rafiq Thomas also spent some time, well, made his name at Rivoli.
A real veteran, had a tough time at Boystown, who battled for quite a few years to avoid relegation. The 4 finalists are coming last year.
Look at that from Keith Simpson. As soon as Price put his foot on it, Simpson was on him, tackling hard but fair. That's what I'm talking about. That's kind of attention that those creative Cavalier players are going to get this evening.
Yeah, Marshall, Nelson, Hamilton. Good skillful player with pace, Hamilton, but bobbles with the ball and loses it there. Jahmoi Simpson, a very, very solid central defender for Cavalier last season, and his strong, robust defensive work played a strong contributor factor to Cavalier getting as far as they did last year. Oh, there appeared to be a foul from Marshall. Just stopping Kenroy Howell in his tracks. Howell, very, very dangerous player.
A very smooth dribbler, Howell is. Drop of the shoulder, getting rid of one defender. And then Marshall realized he was beaten and just put his arms across to block Howell's run. This is Stephen Williams. Looks like he's lining up a direct shot on target, Lance.
Yeah, I think he is. Does kick very powerfully. A 3-man wall set up here by some of the taller Cavalier men, including Nelson and Paris. Williams. Wow. Poor kick that was. And a right-footed effort that goes into the side netting in the end.
Yeah, that's the man playing right back this day, Shane Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts returning to Waterhouse. Did spend some time at Cavalier as well. There have been some interchanging between these two. Several players on these rosters had spent some time at the opposing team.
Yep.
Strong pass looking for Ming. Ming does well to keep the ball in. Comes under some strong, aggressive tackling there from Sean Duar.
Excellent defending from Duar. I spoke earlier about Cavaliers' tendency to use the interchanging passes and get up the field. We've seen them go long though since the start of this game, crossing the half line and then looking to go over the top of the Waterhouse defensive midfielders, get the defenders turning and get the forwards running into the wide spaces.
Topey with the header out, using all of his height there. Tallest player on the field, Topey. Marsh. Oh, too much weight on that pass from Marsh. Could have really sent Marshall on his way to goal there, but just struck it with too much force.
Yeah, and he apologized, realized he had overcooked that one. The thing Waterhouse don't have anymore with Beckford and Benbow gone, they don't have lightning pace in attack. They don't have that player who can just sprint away, break the lines and get clear and get onto a pass. Gervin Brown isn't slow, that's not what I'm saying, and Kamara Howell isn't slouchy either. But they don't have the pace of Beckford and Benbow, that's for sure.
Long kick forward. Too much weight on that as well, and the teenage goalkeeping star, Jadine White, collects easily. Also part of the national setup with coach Theodore Whitmore. Jadine Thomas is at this point as well.
Yeah, Alex Marshall, not a good start to the game for him, giving the ball away there. Trying to play that one-time pass, needs to settle.
That was Leonardo Thomas giving the ball away for Waterhouse, but they've luckily Regained possession. Lost it now. Marshall. Ming. Jeremy Nelson giving the ball away there.
Yeah, poor play. Told himself he was under way more pressure than he actually was. His composure deserting him in that play.
Duar and Finlayson exchanging passes in central defense for Waterhouse. The counter-attack. Cross whipped in by Williams, but only succeeds in getting a deflection, but winning a corner, the first of the match.
That was beautiful though, lads. The way he took that ball and turned with 2 men in his back. Excellent from Williams.
Yeah, big strong player who has no fear. Oh, Topey with a vital header. That ball was heading, I think, straight to Gerwin Brown on the far post. Finlayson. Bins to Howell. Neat play forward. Bins is getting the cross in.
The crowd giving the assistant referee on this side stick, but he got that call right. Bain's asking. But yeah, you were watching the ball, Damien. You weren't watching the line. And you wouldn't have seen that the ball was over the line.
Throw to Cavalier. Ming with a throw. So a pretty even start between these two teams after 10 minutes. Paris fails to control. Simpson. Finlayson. Goes wide there to Roberts, looking for passing options inside. Howell makes himself available.
Waterhouse have started better of the teams. Paris and Marshall. Marsh too have not really been able to get into the game. Waterhouse, their attacking players are in the game.
Oh, great ball forward. Waterhouse on the attack. Wow. Topey just intercepting what was a tame cross inside.
Yeah, he needed more meat, Lance, needed more, and that's what the crowd is saying. Stephen Williams there ought to have done better on his stronger right foot.
Bins collects for Waterhouse. Finlayson and again Duar exchanging passes. And now a big strong Steve Williams with a forceful pass upfield. Rankin puts pressure on and wins it for Cavalier. Paris's first touch lets him down. Waterhouse on the counter-attack. Oh, I thought that was a late challenge there. It was on Thomas it was, who goes down, and a yellow card from Ming. So, Kyle Min for this. Whoa, yeah. He really hit Denardo Thomas pretty hard there.
From the back to the midfield, the Duar, Nikolai Finlayson coordinating well with their midfield. And talking about Waterhouse, Cavalier not having that.
Long kick toward the penalty spot. Topey uses his height and gets there first. Only 18 years old, Jahmoi Topey. Played successfully with Camperdown in the Manning Cup competition. Also played national under-17 and under-20 football as well. Rafiq Thomas sets the ball across. Oh, the ball is coming right across the goal area. Just missing the far post. Yeah. Howell with the effort.
Yeah, he improvised there because to how the ball was running, he wanted to strike it with the right foot, but it wasn't running favorably. This is Nikolai Phillips with the long pass back. Rafiq Thomas controls, slips it into his path, and oh, he had the first touch. He was under pressure from Leonardo Rankin and just tried with the outside of the left boot, Lance.
Yeah, that was a fine effort by Kenroy Howell.
A for improvisation.
Yeah, neat touch there. He just felt that he didn't have enough time to get the right-footed shot off. Yeah, because the pressure was really on. And he just flicked the left-footed shot on goal and almost scored. The kind of play that makes it clear why Dragon FC of El Salvador were interested in him and signed him up for a couple of seasons in the El Salvador League. Hamilton strike blocked. Waterhouse on the counter-attack. Thomas doesn't like his passing options. Roberts.
The home team playing really well at the moment, I can tell you though.
Yeah. Not too sure if that was deliberate, was it? From Topey, was it?
Yeah. I'm saying it was.
Yeah, I hear you. Just the live look at it, wasn't sure it was. If it was, he was expressing a lot of confidence in his goalkeeper and where he was positioned. Roberts puts pressure on. Hamilton cheekily wins the corner.
Yeah.
Cavaliers first.
Yeah, there's just this disconnect between Cavaliers defenders and their midfielders. Taking the ball out has been a problem.
Yeah.
Waterhouse haven't had that problem.
This Waterhouse lineup is pretty different to the one Cavaliers saw last year when they met them. Good corner, swinging to the near post. Houghton does really well. Paris with a strike. What a goal! Kahim Paris strikes his first goal of the season. The former Detail man lights up the scene for Cavalier in Red Stripe Football Mondays.
Against the run of play, Diego Houghton did brilliantly well. Came for the ball early, gave it 2 fists, punched it clear, but Kahim Paris, and folks, why this goal is special is because this man is very left-footed. This is Nicholas Hamilton's corner, double punch by Diego Houghton, and look at this, the weaker left foot, absolutely, that's pure technique. Kids at home, take note, didn't try to hit it too hard, just tried to catch it properly, a swing of the right boot, that's beautiful, Lance.
Well, he was a Golden Boot winner in the Costa Cup football with scores of goals in his career for Dinthill in the Costa Cup football. But what a strike that was in the top flight for Cavalier tonight.
Very much against the run of play. But that corner won out of nothing. You said cheekily one, Lance. Bought a corner, got a corner, and they capitalized. Diego Houghton really did nothing wrong because he got rid of the ball first. It's just that his defenders weren't closing down Kahim Paris.
Yeah. Well, I saw him score at least one outstanding goal last year, Kahim Paris, for Cavalier in the top flight in his first season in the top flight. And that one certainly matched it. So Waterhouse, bossy in the first 15 minutes of the game, but now find themselves behind. Marsh hustled off the ball. So Waterhouse now resuming regular programming. By that I mean controlling the pace of the game, bossing the game overall, but the big difference is from 3 minutes ago they're actually behind.
Yep.
Nelson does well there to win the ball, but his distribution lets him down.
Yeah, twice he was sending Kahim Paris, telling him to run into space, give him the option, run down the channel so I can play it long for you, and the goal scorer didn't oblige.
Paris, Marshall, Nelson, Topey, Simpson, Nelson. Wow, Nelson's touch is poor. Waterhouse, Rafiq Thomas. Thomas! Thomas! What a strike! Just over the top!
Wow. That was dangerous. Playing around at the back with it was the ever-dependable central defender for Cavalier. Getting caught in possession, Jahmoi Simpson. Hounded by Gervin Brown. Rafiq Thomas steals it on the weaker left foot, dips outside. And Simpson ran back lands to put some pressure on him.
Yeah.
But not decisive defending at all.
No, Simpson's touch on the ball there just gave the ball away. His very first touch pretty much put the ball straight on the feet of Rafiq Thomas. And here's Cavalier now on the counter-attack with Rankin. Pretty lazy play there by Cavalier, paying the price, and they've now given up possession. Howell. Williams. Roberts. Cavalier on the counter-attack now. Marsh. Oh, Hamilton with the pass forward. So Kevin Paris's outstanding right-footed volley strike. The difference between these two teams at the moment. Waterhouse looking to get back into the game. Howell being held onto by Rankin. Thomas. Oh, curiously in this match so far, George, as much as the Waterhouse team is having a lot of possession of the ball and a lot of offensive play, Gervin Brown, their ace striker, isn't getting that much service.
Yeah, hasn't had many opportunities. Rafiq Thomas has been busy. So too has Kenroy Howell. I was just about to remark that Keith Simpson, the midfield anchor for Waterhouse, just made his first bad pass of the game after about 20 minutes.
Here's Binns. Back inside to Dwyer. Finlayson. Cavalier at the moment just falling back behind the play and doing a good marking up job. And making passing options, at least for that play, difficult for Waterhouse.
Yeah, so it's a home team, Lance, that needs to raise the tempo, because Cavalier won't mind the tempo being this until the 90th minute.
Williams robbed of the ball by Nelson. Thomas goes for a strike from distance. Pretty ambitious, that effort. Easy take for Jaden White in the Cavalier goal. So
Yeah.
Fuzzy Gale, he's upset with the way things are going so far, and I think he has every right to be, because Waterhouse have played well enough in this first half of the half to not be trailing.
Yeah, frustrated, especially by the tempo since the concession of the goal. Not saying you should go hell for leather.
Strong pass forward here for Hamilton. Roberts puts some pressure on Hamilton, who has pace and skill, but Roberts does really well there.
Superb defending.
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying you should go hell for leather this early and because you're at home, but you need to play with greater tempo to break down any decent defense, and the Cavalier defense is good. You're not going to walk or sleepwalk your way through the defensive line. So that's probably what's frustrating Marcel Gale more than anything else.
Well, here comes Hamilton now on the left side. Goes to Marsh. Marsh wins a corner. His cross just deflected behind. Howell, the number 10 for Waterhouse. influential so far in this game.
Watch Paris on the edge of the 18-yard box once again, Lance. That's from where he retreated a few strides to sweep that one in.
Oh, the head. Oh, and then look back of the net again. This time, Jahmoi Topey. His first of the season. And the two 18-year-olds have Cavalier in front by 2-0 midway the first half. 2 set pieces, 2 goals. Less than clever defending on this second occasion. He doesn't look happy, but he must be thrilled to bits. This is the corner from Nicholas Hamilton swinging in. Horton didn't get there. Topey did, jumping over Stephen Williams. And look at this. It was not even an own goal. It didn't come off Williams. Let me see this. Yeah, it may have. That came off the Waterhouse midfielder. Yeah, it does seem so. On the replay, Topey put the pressure on with the header. He was right on the shoulder of Williams, and the ball seemingly came off Williams and not Topey. A confirmation on the goal scorer coming up. Yeah, that for me is an OG, not an original gangster. That's an own goal. But it was because of Topey's pressure, Lance, and it was a wicked corner. We must give him credit, Nicholas Hamilton, for the quality of the delivery. Yes. Topey, tallest player on the field, along with his teammate Leonard Rankin. And look at Cavalier go now. That was Purcell trying to slide the ball in. Rankin tumbles over. That's Rankin. That was Paris tumbling over. Now here comes Nelson with a strike, but it's blocked by Keith Simpson. So a lot of energy now from Cavalier, and they're up by 2-0. Waterhouse set-piece defending ordinary so far in this first half. Can't fault too much the first goal, because that was a bit of brilliance from Kaheem Paris. But my word, for the second goal, you must expect your defender to be a little more aggressive with the jump, Stephen Williams. Well, I hear the fourth official has given Jahmoi Topey the goal. We're not trying to take it off him, but I'm just saying that from what we saw from our replay, that came off Stephen Williams, but that's of academic interest only. Stories, Waterhouse 0, Cavalier 2. Thomas. Williams puts the pressure on. Just a little bit too weighty for Thomas to get to. And now Hamilton. The game is perfect for Cavalier Land. Sorry to butt in, because they can sit and they can just counter-attack. Yeah, that's right. Well, Bint was sprinting forward. Williams didn't see the move. Marshall. Good skill. Nelson. Another set piece, Lance. Yeah. Another goal. Throw close to the corner flag, is it, or is it a corner? I'm wondering. Looks like a throw. I thought it's a corner because Nicholas Hamilton is going across. Yes, it's a corner kick. Horton, tremendous in goal for Waterhouse since he's been here. Hamilton's left-footed corner is a good one, bending in, but Horton, very, very good and solid goalkeeper. Did get a hand to that header on goal that went in, but wasn't a strong enough hand to keep the ball out. Did he touch it or did it touch him? I guess it's both. Waterhouse now trailing, even though they have not played badly. I have to say their work in the attacking third hasn't been that good. But outside of that, as you see with the possession, 52%, they've been pretty good. No, to be fair, from open play, they look the team most likely because they've been eye-catching on the offensive end. It's just that they've been undone from 2 set-piece opportunities that Cavalier have had. Yeah. Thomas goes to the far post. Rafiq Thomas, oh, the ball almost going for Gervin Brown. Just wasn't able to get there before this man, Jadine White, did in goal. Thomas. Wins a free kick fairly high inside the Waterhouse half. In the Cavalier half. Free kick to Waterhouse. Challenge their own Denardo Thomas.
Yeah, Gervin Brown must be wondering what he's doing wrong. None of the chances falling for him. That one almost did.
Approaching the half-hour mark. And this man, Jadine White, in Cavalier's goal, hasn't had that much to do so far in this game. Poor Rankin with a header out. Dwyer. Roberts. Good cross inside. White. Everyone missed it, including goalkeeper White, and there was no Waterhouse player there to finish.
There was an offside call though. The assistant just put down her flag, and you'll see from where Jadine White spots the ball that it was given. This is Roberts. The cross comes in, and yeah, you can see Gervin Brown there ahead of the defenders when the ball was coming across.
Yeah. Yeah, two players in offside positions. White under pressure there as the Waterhouse players converged on the ball.
Not that the Cavalier goalkeeper knew the players were offside.
Yeah. Roberts. Thomas getting close. That's Denardo Thomas. Two Thomases in offense for Waterhouse. Rafiq Thomas and Denardo Thomas. Nelson. Marsh. Perfectly read there by the veteran Finlayson, cutting the play off. Oh, and Williams makes a mess of that.
Yeah. Wanted it played in front of him. That's what he's saying now. Play it in front of me. And Holo was saying, yeah, but there was a man in the space in front of you, so you should just collect it and then go forward.
Robert shows good skill there for Waterhouse. Howell. Denardo Thomas. Oh, delightful ball in! Gervin Brown misses. Should have done better with that. The ace marksman, 3 goals so far this season, joint leading scorer in the league, would have been disappointed with that effort.
That was a peach of a pass from Denardo Thomas. And you'd want Gervin Brown to be on the end of it. And what does he do, Gervin Brown? Oh, my word. No connection to speak of whatsoever. Flighted beautifully, the defense beaten. Going for the side foot finish. And maybe he should have been thinking about putting his laces through it. And he knows Gervin Brown does, that he let a glorious chance go begging.
Yeah. The odds favoring Gervin Brown becoming the sole leading scorer in the league tonight. He has 3 goals along with a couple of other players. Here's Cavalier on the attack now.
You know,
there was his opportunity for number 4.
It would be unfair to say that Cavaliers' 2-goal lead is a false position because they scored 2 good goals.
Yeah.
But Waterhouse don't deserve to be 2-0 down, Lance, because of what they've contributed to this first half. They've played the game where creating opportunities and dominating midfield are concerned. And that's why you see that look on Rudolph Speed's face. His team is up. But I can't say they've played well.
Yeah.
Waterhouse, on the other hand, have played well, but somehow find themselves with nothing to show.
Gervin Brown, Anthony Greenland of UWI, and Ron D. Smith of Portmore, the leading scorers in the league at the moment with 3 goals. And there was Gervin's opportunity to go ahead of them. There's the Waterhouse bench. Tremaine Stewart hasn't been out so far this season. Has injury issues, we're told. The joint 2nd leading scorer for Waterhouse last year, along with Cardell Benbow. Waterhouse on the attack. Oh, the shot on goal. Did that hit the post, or the goalkeeper Jadine White got a hand on it?
That was a stupendous save. We'll see it later. Brilliant from the young man, his anticipation.
Oh, delightful ball through here. Paris gets onto it now. Oh, Paris shows class. He still has the ball. Now the ball cleared away by the Waterhouse defense.
Very good clearance from O'Shane Roberts. Beautiful skill from Kahim Paris there. He'll leave his man standing, but this is the throw. Flicked on, and that's a tremendous reflex save from J.D. White.
That was a strike from Kenroy Howell. And here's the Kahim Paris magic now. Oh, his flick inside cleared away by Roberts in the end. But here's Cavalier now with Ming. Topey. Topey's pass inside is good. Nelson. Paris fights hard for the ball. Commits a foul. Free kick to Waterhouse deep inside their own half.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Waterhouse are 2-0 down in this game.
Yeah. Purcell's pass forward for Cavalier. Now Marsh.
Brilliant.
Purcell. Former Jamaica College Manning Cup and Olivia Shield winning player Purcell. Played last season with Sandals FC, who made their debut in the top flight, but were immediately relegated. Long ball across. Roberts gets there but can't keep it. Rankin, another Sandals man. His pass is cut off by Denardo Thomas, who gets a successful challenge from Ming.
Yeah, good work by Ming on the recovery tackle.
Ming playing on the right side of the fence here for Cavalier tonight. A standout central defender for Bridgeport in the Manning Cup competition last year. Jahmoi Simpson in defense for Cavalier. Marshall puts some pressure on but gives up a throw. There's Craig Butler, agent and dad of the exciting Bayer Leverkusen left-sided attacking player Leon Bailey. Of course, in conflict with the Jamaica Football Federation with regard to Bailey representing the country. Thomas with a strike on goal, bobbled here by J.D. White. Grabs onto it second time.
He dropped it twice from the original shot, and then on the scramble to gather his spill, with his defender on the premises to help him.
Roberts and Hamilton fighting for the ball. Roberts the winner. Howell. Howell. Oh. Double teamed successfully by the Cavalier men. Now Nelson. Marsh. Cavalier playing with a lot of comfort now, as well as they might with the 2-0 advantage 9 minutes before the halftime break.
Yeah, it's a cushion that they could only dream of. They had it in the first 25 minutes.
Rankin. Simpson. Rankin in his first season at Cavalier. Oh, J.D. White gives up a goal. What a horror for the teenager. And now his arm hurts.
Oh my God, Lance, I'd suggest that his pride is hurting a lot more than his arm. That was innocuous. I wonder if it kicked up off the turf. Not making excuses for him, but there must be a reason why that happened. And now his teammates are giving him some love. He apologizes to the bench and to his teammates. This is Simpson in possession. Doesn't have a pass forward that he likes. Back to Rankin. Rankin back to his goalkeeper. And oh my goodness, poor control. That's absolutely poor. Too nonchalant from the young man. But these things will happen. He's only young. And he learned from that. And I wonder where the arm injury came from.
Wow. He won't want to see these highlights, George. Oh, hugely embarrassing for the teenager. Now Cavalier want to add to the pain with Alex Marshall. Nelson's work rate in this match so far for Cavalier, impressive in midfield.
Yeah, he has been good for them. And now a little bit of spice returned to the match, Lance. Now that cushion not quite firmly in place as it was a minute ago.
That's right. Here's Marshall, Marsh, Rankin, Purcell, Hamilton.
Look, that's a serious error from Jadine White, but that's not an error you castigate a teenager for, a schoolboy for, because they will happen. They happen to the best of them, goalkeepers, and he learned from it.
Oh, Rafiq Thomas is on a major run downfield, eventually stopped. This is how Cavalier likes to play. Just knocking the ball around. Topey.
Offside. Lance, there was a big diagonal pass available to Leonard Rankin when he passed back to Jadine White. I thought he was actually going to go for that pass, but at the last minute he opted not to and went for the safe pass, because there's nothing wrong with what he did, asking Jadine White to do. Pass back to your goalkeeper and allow him to start from the back. But the young man, so nonchalant, so casual, and has his boss feeling a bit frustrated.
Yeah. Widely regarded as the best teenage goalkeeper in the country at the moment, for sure. Don't think anyone disputes that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's certainly a blotch on his copybook.
It's almost like a fielder on the boundary, casually bending down to stick one hand out to gather the ball, and just rose onto the boundary to give away vital runs.
Waterhouse now winning themselves a corner.
Yeah.
Deep inside the first half. Williams will strike it, it seems. There are going to be 5 blue shirts for Waterhouse in the box. The corner taken short. Roberts with a strong kick to the near post, but
too low.
Not getting the elevation to clear the man Hamilton, who was on the near post or close to the near post. So Cavalier have made the most of what has worked for them so far this half. 2 strikes from set plays. And fortuitously for Waterhouse, Cavaliers goalkeeper Jadine White gave them one. Brown turns expertly, sets the ball back. Oh, what a brilliant strike! Stephen Williams brings Waterhouse level at 2-2. Hasn't played well so far this game, Stephen Williams, but he certainly thumped that left footer past White. And Waterhouse, the home team, are back in business at Druseland.
Brilliant setup play here. This is Roberts. Checks in onto the left foot inside. The chest trap by Howell. And on from the outside of the left foot, Stephen Williams. This is how he just tees it off to him. And low and hard, almost like a toe punt, Lance. A good old-fashioned toe punt from Williams. Got it through a crowd of legs. And Jadine White saw it very late, too late to get down to smother it. You say he has had a bad game. I think he's been 50-50. He didn't defend well for Topey's goal, or the goal credited to Topey. But he came up trumps there, Stephen Williams. And the scoreline, Lance, I'd suggest to you, is a fair reflection of how the first half has gone.
Yeah. Flag has gone up here for, I think, a foul on Duar. Probably a high boot there coming from the Cavalier man challenging for the ball.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke at the top of the show, George, about a 4-4 scoreline between these two teams a couple of years ago.
Yep.
We could be heading in that direction tonight.
Oh, how we'd love that. 4 goals in the first half. That's a feast.
Yeah. Ming going for the ball there.
I don't see a foul there, but
yeah, the boot caught Dore as he challenged.
yeah, that's a foul.
Topey with a header and pressure on Gervin, knocking over the number 45. Binns. Free kick for Waterhouse, and look at the light blue shirts on the edge of the box for Waterhouse. Eager to add to their score. Gervin Brown missed kicks. Oh, and Rafiq Thomas with a header onto the bar.
Wow.
What a night.
What an effort. Saw what he was doing. There were men running towards him, so he just wanted to place it away from the advancing defenders. Gervin Brown got his kick horribly wrong. Flicked on firstly by Rafiq Thomas. Slashed by Gervin Brown, and then look at Rafiq Thomas thinking he had everybody beaten. And he did, except the crossbar.
Well, he has gone close twice, George. Rafiq Thomas, to belatedly celebrating his 34th birthday, which he had yesterday. He would badly want to score tonight, and he has gone close twice.
Yeah, it's a very good game we have on our hands here, not just because we have 4 goals already. Gervin Brown, where are his shooting boots, Lance?
Well, I don't know. An outstanding striker, leading scorer at the moment. You know, in UWI's debut season when he scored 14 goals, only Dino Williams and Owain Gordon, the 2 prolific strikers from Montego Bay United's championship winning team, had outscored him that year. 14 goals he had.
Yep.
Then he went to El Salvador to play some football. Here's Williams on the attack now. Good pace. Big, strong, robust player is Williams. Oh, the ball taken away from him by Purcell with some amount of ease.
Excellent defending from Purcell. Bad touch from Nicholas Hamilton. But yeah, we have a game on our hands now.
2 minutes added on for stoppages. We're almost half the way through that stoppage period. Nelson, one of a couple of players signed up for Cavalier this season from Moulins FC. Keith Simpson not satisfied with his passing options. Now he gets one through the middle to Williams. Williams wants a foul, doesn't get it from referee Samuels. Now her whistle goes in Waterhouse's favor.
Yeah, strong challenge by Chevon Messi-Marsh on Rafiq Thomas, who really should have had 2 goals already.
So Keith Simpson with a free kick for Waterhouse. Good one to the penalty spot. Misses everyone. Those Binns went up for the header and missed it. Didn't go that far as well from Denardo Thomas, did it?
No.
Gervin Brown was there as well. It was Gervin Brown. There's the whistle from referee Cardella Samuels to end 45 minutes of action. And would you believe it, 4 goals shared equally between Cavalier and Waterhouse. The home team battling back from 2-0 down. And Kahim Paris and Jahmoi Topey, the 2 18-year-olds in the Cavalier setup, credited with the goals. Jadine White, an own goal with a howler as the ball was passed back to him. And Stephen Williams, the Waterhouse man, getting the 2nd goal for the home team. So at the end of 45 minutes, 2 goals each for Waterhouse and the Cavalier. It's been an energetic first half here of Red Stripe Football Mondays at the Jerusalem Stadium. Back with the highlights and halftime stuff after the break.
1 bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.